Hey, it's Emily here, and this is episode 37. And this is an episode all about really achieving your goals, holding yourself accountable, and making sure that you stick to those New Year's resolutions. Whether it's January or June, it doesn't matter. You can get started and move forward with your goals today, and here's how. Welcome to the I Heart My Life show with success coach Emily Williams. Tune in daily to learn how to design a life you love, create more success and wealth, move past fear and blocks, and bring more joy into your life and business. It's time to create a life that's better than your dreams. So I'm recording this episode. It's about 7:30 in the morning. I've just gotten back from a strength and conditioning class that started at 6:15, and I felt inspired to record this for you. And the backstory is that I actually didn't go to bed until about 1 a.m. last night. Now, that's not normal for me. Normally, I go to bed around 9:30 and wake up around 5 or 5:30. I really love that pattern. I love getting up early and getting things done. But last night, we had a bit of a tech issue. I decided kind of on a whim to organize some of our Dropbox folders over the holiday season because they were out of control. And it's one of those jobs where as much as I'd like to delegate it, so many of those files are mine and have built up over the past 4.5 years. And so I kind of had to be the one to get in and get my hands dirty. And the way that I did it caused a bit of an issue in terms of syncing. So this episode is not about Dropbox, rest assured, but it is about what has to happen as an entrepreneur and business owner oftentimes, and how we, regardless of the situation, we're still able to move forward with our goals and hold ourselves accountable into a higher standard. And we really have to in order to achieve the level of success that we desire. So this year, one of my main focuses is health. It definitely was last year as well. And if you're anything like me, you have no problem working all hours every day. I can easily work an 18-hour day. That's no exaggeration. I love what I do, and I get very obsessed with what we do in our business. And so for me to kind of peel myself away from that computer, it's a challenge. I would be, I guess I am a workaholic, maybe someone who's a workaholic in recovery. And I don't think that's a bad thing by any means. I love what I do, like I said. And so that enables me to put in the time and effort that is really required and needed in order to achieve the success I desire. And at the same time, I know that I can fall into bad patterns of not paying attention to what I eat and rushing and not giving myself the time to take care of my body or whatever it may be in terms of my health. And so this year, I'm really putting a focus on shifting that and doing less better and delegating more and not spending every second working, which is, like I said, my normal pattern and habit. So today, as I'm recording this, it's January 2nd. I had booked myself in for this 6:15 a.m. class and had every intention of going. And then last night, this tech issue came up. And I knew that I wasn't going to be able to sleep unless I made sure all of our files were safe. That's just kind of how my mind worked last night. And so I took care of all of that and went to bed around 1 a.m. And even as I laid my head down on the pillow, I was thinking to myself, oh goodness, I can just turn my alarm off right now. I don't need to get up at 5:30. I can go work out later on. Screw the 15 pounds that I've lost out on if I miss the class. And I heard my mind. I know enough to know that we are not our mind. Mindset is my specialty. And so I know that I can be outside of my mind and just observe it. And I know that in order to achieve the level of success that I desire, I have to make that a constant practice. And I desire a lot when it comes to health and strength and feeling really good in my body. And so it's just creating that habit around being the observer of my mind in those moments. So I kept my alarm set and woke up at 5:30. And even then my mind was like, oh goodness, just turn the alarm off, go back to sleep, hit the snooze button. And for me, the snooze button is very symbolic. It really pertains to so much more than just sleep or getting a few extra minutes in bed. It really is reflective in terms of how we show up in life. So you have to ask yourself, if how you do one thing is how you do everything, where else are you hitting the snooze button? And so again, I know this. This is the stuff I practice. This is the stuff we teach our clients. And so I knew enough to not listen to that voice once again. Then I went downstairs. I got a little bit of food. I took my vitamins. I got myself prepped. And even then, my mind said, oh, do you really want to do this? I put on my shoes, put on my coat, said goodbye to James, walked out the door, literally felt like I was on the verge of tears because I did not want to go. My mind was so strong at that point, and my mind was using every tactic in the book. It was saying, this is not a form of self-love. You want to practice self-love. You want to improve the level of kindness to yourself. You don't want to push yourself too hard. And this is the exact opposite. Emily, what are you doing? It was pulling out all the stops, everything to try and get me to literally stop. But I didn't. I kept going, and I kept focused on what it was that I actually desired. And this is what you have to do in that moment. And honestly, you have to set yourself up to know that this is going to happen, and know that your mind is going to pull out all the tricks. It's going to do everything it possibly can to really prey on those things that get you, that emotion, that self-love piece. That's a new one. My mind doesn't always pull that one out for me, but it did this morning. So you have to know that you are far more capable and that you do not have to listen to your mind. And you cannot, especially if you're creating a new habit or looking to go to a new level in life and in business or in health, whatever it may be, or whatever transformation you're looking to achieve this year. And the truth is I also know through study and through education that we often stop far too soon. So there's an amazing athlete. I'm sure he's going to come up many times on this podcast. I'm sure James, if you ever learned from him or are in any of our coaching programs, you'll hear him talk about him. This amazing athlete named Ross Edgley. He is someone who swam around the UK. I believe he took about 5 months to do so. He was swimming for about 12 hours every day. And he studies all of this information about habits and high performance and how capable we are as humans in terms of achieving our goals. And he's found that we often stop at our 40% level. So that means we actually have 60% more to give when we stop. And so this is something I often channel as well, especially when it comes to fitness. In those moments where your mind tells you that you need to stop, you can know that you actually have 60% more to give in that moment. And your mind, of course, it wants to keep you safe. It wants to keep you from extending yourself too far. It wants to keep you in the comfort zone. So it will tell you to stop. But if you are prepared, if you know that that's going to happen, if you expect it to happen, then you won't be surprised, and it will lessen the power of your mind. So today I invite you to create a bit of a plan. Know that when your mind comes with all of these excuses, all of the reasons why you shouldn't move forward, why you shouldn't show up, why you can't do something, have a plan so that you know you will do it regardless of what your mind says. Start practicing being an observer of your mind. Start understanding that when your mind tells you to stop, you actually have so much more capability. And think about it, how many things are we missing out on? How many results are we missing out on? How many levels of success, how many achievements, how many ways in which we can impact the world are we missing out on because we stop too soon? So today I invite you to forget your mind, listen to your heart, focus on what it is that you desire, and know that you are so capable. So can't wait to talk to you on the next episode. Have an amazing day. Thank you for listening to this episode of the I Heart My Life show. Please take a second to leave a review. We love reading all of your comments, suggestions, and feedback. And for more inspiration, success tips, and ways to achieve your life and business goals, definitely follow me on Instagram and Facebook at I Heart My Life Now. See you next time.